There we go. All right, the record is on. Yay! So that's good. I'm super bummed, like I said, that I wasn't able to record yesterday's call because it was really good. We got into some good information. Anyway, so thank you guys for joining me and showing up for the 3 keys to a powerful 2019. I'm not sure if anybody was on the 5-day goal getter challenge. That was something that I did before we actually got into the 3 keys. So what I wanted to do on this masterclass is actually, before I get started into the 3 keys, was kind of go over what I taught in the 5-day challenge for goal setting, because it is the beginning of the year. It's 2019. It's a fresh start. So I want everybody to have a little bit of a foundation on what's the best things to do to start off your 2019 and then be able to continue on and have a super powerful year. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about those strategies. So if you guys were in the challenge, this will just be a recap for you, and for all those who were unable to join the challenge, this is going to be some good information for you. So basically, when I'm working with my clients and we're getting ready, whether it's the beginning of the year or not, but a lot of times my cycle goes, we start in the beginning of the year. One of the things that you want to look at, depending on where you are and what's happening with you in your life, is you want to look at what your core values are. So what is most important to you on a core level? And I do these exercises because a lot of times, for myself as well, is that we don't realize that we're living our life based on somebody else's or some other expectation subconsciously that was told to us, and we're just trying to show up in our life that way, and we are either unhappy or confused or a little bit disconnected because we don't really know, we're not really in alignment with who we are within ourselves at a core level. So that's why I like to do the core value exercise, where you come up with your 5 top values, and then you take a look at what your core values are and you see if they're showing up in your everyday life, because a lot of times they're not. So I'm just going to give you a quick story of, for me, for instance, the first time I ever did a core values exercise, it's got to be at least 10 years ago. And I thought that I was like, my family was first and all these other things I thought that I put first. But then when I actually, like family first, God, things like that were my top values. But when I actually looked at what I did on a daily basis, that's not how I was showing up. I mean, sure, I was a wife and I was a mother and I was taking care of my family, but I wasn't really putting my family first. I wasn't engaging with my family. I wasn't spending time with my parents. I wasn't doing certain things. Like, I was just going through the motions, but I wasn't showing up in entirely present in all these areas of my life. And that's why I was having these feelings of disconnection or unhappiness, or, there's got to be more for me than what's going on right now. So that's why it's important to connect with your core. And then you see, like for me, I was kind of living my life. I was brought up Catholic. And so I was kind of living my life in that arena, but there was a lot about what I was living that didn't really strike a true chord for me. So I had to look at that. So those are the types of things that you're going to want to look at, especially with it being the new year. You should really take some time to dig deep on who you are and what you really want and how you want to show up in your life, because that's going to make a really big difference on what your goals are going to be for 2019 and how you're going to be able to stay connected to those goals so that you actually achieve them. So you're going to want to look at your core values. You're going to want to see if they're showing up in your life. Then you're going to want to look at what is holding you back. And when I say what's holding you back, normally it's a limiting belief, kind of along the lines of something that you might have been told when you were younger. and you just took it as fact, because belief is just a thought that we keep thinking over and over, and then that starts showing up for us, and then there it is, so we believe it. Those are the types of things. Or a limiting belief is something that was embedded in our subconscious mind when we were younger. So I'm going to go back to a story about me again. Not that I'm making this all about me, but I'm just trying to make you aware that you're not alone, and that these are the things that happen totally not by, what's the word I'm looking for? Nobody did anything to me. I'm not trying to act like I'm a victim. These are just circumstances that come about. And when you're younger, when you're like between the ages of 8, 9, 10, 11, things could be said to you that you don't even realize that you take on as fact, and then you start living your life that way. So like for me, when I was in 3rd grade, I was told by a teacher that I was never good at reading and math, and I wasn't good at reading and math. So I just said, well, she's my teacher. She knows more than I do. So I guess I'm not good at reading and math. And I never, ever applied myself in those areas, because I just took on that statement that was said to me as a belief, as fact in my subconscious mind. And I led my life that way, and I didn't even try. So these are the types of things that I'm talking about when I'm saying what's holding us back. So when you're looking at what you want to achieve in your life, let's just say that you want to really finally get a handle on your health, and you want to feel better, and you want to lose weight, or you just want to be healthier. You want to eat healthier, you want to exercise, whatever that looks like for you in that area of your life. You have to look at, okay, so what's been holding me back from actually living that way? And sometimes when we dig deeper into those things that we're looking to achieve, you'll find an underlying limiting belief or something like that, that once you can clear that and have yourself know that it's not true, it's a lot easier than to go for the goal and actually stick with it and achieve it. I know, as a matter of fact, a couple of people that I know in the fitness world, my daughter does social media, and she's got quite a few high-level fitness clients out there. And one of the things that they're bringing to the forefront of diet and exercise is that it truly does start within. It's your mindset. And so if your mind's not right, then unfortunately, so many times things are just going to fall to the wayside, because it's just easier to not than to do. I hope that makes sense. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I'm saying, or any comments, feedback? What do you guys think? Okay, just taking a sip of my water. No problem. So we looked at core values, what's showing up in our lives, what we really want. The other thing that is really key for you guys to look at is to spend some time in fun, if you will, and really think about, if you had no limiting beliefs, if you had no financial barriers, or if you could wave that magic wand, as they say, and have your life be whatever it is that you want it to be, what would that look like? Spend some time there in the next week or so, just imagining, if you were in alignment with who you are at a core level, and you were living your life by who you are and what you truly want, what would your life look like? How would you show up? Would you be showing up differently if you were actually solid in your voice and true to yourself and open to live your life that way? What would your life look like? That's a really fun exercise, and I do that with my clients in the beginning of my coaching program. That's one of the first things that we do, because I want you to realize that sometimes we're too serious, sometimes we're too in default, and we're so busy, life's always happening to us, that we never really step back and take the time to appreciate all that we do have, love who we are today, who we are, and appreciate the true fulfillment of life. Just being here, being healthy and happy and things like that. We need to learn how to be grateful for that. Okay, so then the other thing that we talked about in the 5-day challenge was actually setting the goals. And I had passed these out. So if anybody's watching this, if you're here live or when you watch the replay, if you weren't in the 5-day challenge, please send me an email, reply to the email that has the replay, and I will send you all the paperwork that everybody did when we did the 5-day challenge, which is the course value exercise. That's like a 4-page exercise. That's really good. And then how to create SMART goals, which most of us know what a SMART goal is. It's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but a goal without a plan is just a wish. So when you're going to write down your goal and you're going to make it specific, where you're going to have a SMART goal, one of the things that I always feel like is missing, and what I do with my clients and when I do in my workshops when we're doing, I do vision board and goal setting workshops like from November through January. And we go into actually setting a goal. But the key to actually having a goal stick to keep you motivated is to have an emotional connection to that goal. And what I mean by that is to just set a goal to say, let's say I'm going to, pay off a debt. I'm going to pay off this $3,000 credit card that I have, which, obviously that's a great goal because it's going to give you some freedom of your money. But really, what is the payoff going to be when you reach that goal? How is your life going to be different? How is your family lifestyle going to be different? How are you going to show up? How is it going to change your life? Even like with a weight loss goal or a health goal, when you're going to create that goal, you want to look at the end result first and connect with that. What is this really going to give me? Who will I be when I'm here? When I'm done, when I became super healthy and I'm having my workouts as a regular routine, who am I? What does my life look like now that I'm here? Always think of yourself already done when you're going to create the goal, because that's going to stir up the emotion that when you're writing the goal out, it's going to be different for you. I know. So last year, one of my clients was at the workshop, and then she was working with me for 6 months. And in the first 6 months of 2018, all 5 goals that she set in November, she reached by June. And she couldn't believe it because she put an emotional connection to her goals. It made all the difference. Then I had another client, the same thing. She had a weight loss goal, and I think she's already down 37 pounds within the year of 2018. She did it a healthy way. But anyway, things like that. So the one lady, she wanted a fresh start. She just was off a divorce, and she wanted to buy a house because she was renting, and things were really very sad. Like, obviously you're going through a divorce. But she focused on the end goal of what her life would be like when she could own her own home again. And things just started showing up differently for her. She ended up being able to find a second job that paid really well, but still allowed her time for her kids. And she scheduled, she just got herself in a schedule. Anyway, so those are the kinds of things that I'm talking about when you're going to be setting goals to make the emotional connection to them. So when you start out with, what are your core values? Who are you? How are you showing up? What do you really want? And then you set your goals based on all this other stuff. It's going to be different. So that's my prefix, if you will, to what I'm going to talk to you guys about now. Okay, so just real quickly, I'll just show you. So the core value exercise, it's 4 pages of how you truly get down to who you are. And this is something that I do with my clients in my coaching program as well. So if you didn't get that, if you weren't in the challenge, let me know and I'll send that off to you. Okay, So I'll just stop quickly and see if anybody has any questions or anything like that. Does anybody want to share anything? Yesterday, one of the ladies, I just checked to see if I was recording again. I did record, but I found it, she was, one of her goals for 2019 is to have a better relationship with her husband. And yesterday I shared one of the goals that I had set for myself about 5 years ago, I think it was. One of my goals was to have a closer connection with my husband, and I had to think about what that really looked like. So I talked to my husband about it, that I wanted us to be closer. I felt like we weren't as close as we were when we first met. You know, life happens, and kids and work and business and things like that. He has got his own company as well. So I decided that the best way to do it was to actually make it specific. So we set a goal for once a month, because that's what would work for us. We would have a date night on a Friday night, and the first month I planned it, the second month it was his. So we rotated who planned it each month. Second Friday of every month, we put in our calendars right away, so we knew whose month it was to plan. And the date had to be out of the house under $100. So it was something that was actually doable for us. And that year, our relationship completely transformed, because, like I was saying, it was interesting to see what he thought was going to be fun for the night versus what I thought was going to be fun for the night, things like that. And even though we've been married for 16 years, it's just funny how, but that is just, so for me, I wanted to stay with a true connection with him. I felt like we were kind of growing apart. So how could I bring us back together? So that was one of her goals. So she was really enjoying that was something that she could try and do with her husband. So that's just another story and thing that I'm throwing out there. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, you guys ready? So now, I'm going to do a little drum roll. And so I know I'm silly. So what are the 3 keys for you after we do all that kind of stuff to have a powerful 2019? So one of the things that I want you guys to think about is right now, in my opinion, and all over the world, I think everybody thinks as well too, is that us as women really need to start leveling ourselves up to be the best version of ourselves, and show up and lead our families, our communities, our businesses, whatever it is, to a higher standard. Okay, so one of the 3 keys for us is commitment. Okay, so when I say commitment, commitment is something that involves you dedicating yourself to something. Okay, so when I'm talking about commitment, I'm talking about you making a commitment to yourself. Okay, we make commitments all the time that we keep. And we're in integrity with our word when it comes to commitments with other people, with our spouses, with our children, with our jobs, with our community, with our church, with our school, whatever it might be. When we say we're going to do something, we do it. We keep that commitment to ourselves. But 99% of the time, when we make a commitment to ourselves, or we make a declaration to ourselves, we drop it. We let it go. We miss the goal. A week goes by and you don't do what you said you were going to do when you're going to take time for yourself. Oh, I'm going to take a sip of this water. Oh, I'm going to start meditation this week. And then you don't do it. And you're like, okay, well, then I'll do it next week. One of the things that I've realized in working with my clients and myself is that when you break your word to yourself, you are so out of alignment with the integrity of who you really are that even though you think it doesn't, it does flow over into other areas of your life. So you need to learn to make a commitment to yourself. And when you're going to make your commitment to yourself for 2019, you have to declare that you are committing to you, to your year, to this being a powerful year for you. I hope that makes sense. So the number one, the first key for you to have a successful 2019 is to make a commitment to yourself. Okay, so this was interesting in yesterday's conversation. Anyway, so this might sound, I'm reading from some of my notes. I hope you guys don't mind because I don't want to miss anything. Okay, so this might seem kind of harsh and I might offend somebody here, but I just want you to realize that everything that you want is within you, so it's up to you. Okay, so it's on you. No more feel sorry for me or no more victim mentality. If you truly want change and you want your life to be different in 2019, if you want this year, we're in 2019 now, it's January 3rd. If you want this year to be your best year ever or to be a powerful year, or you want miracles to happen for you, if you want to start living your true purpose, being truly happy, it's up to you. It's up to you. I'm here to support you. Your family's here to support you. There's other people to support you, but in reality, it's up to you. Okay. So make the commitment to yourself, to keep your word to yourself, that whatever goal you set for 2019, you're going to do it. You're going to do it for you, not anybody else. That's the other thing too, that I forgot to mention, that when you're setting your goals, you set them for you, not anybody else. Okay. So if you're setting a goal to pay off debt because you want your husband to be able to do something or whatever, it's not going to work. Whatever goals that you're setting have to be for you. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the other thing is that when you take personal responsibility for yourself, everything is going to change for your life. Okay, so when you are truly in alignment and truly taking ownership for the choices that you're making, the actions that you're taking or that you're not taking, when you really start to own these things, or you really start to question yourself, okay, so why is this happening to me? Instead of, let's just say, what's a good example? What did I say yesterday? Okay, so let's just say you got looked over for a promotion at your job that you felt you deserved. Instead of being a victim in that scenario, you need to look at what lesson do I have to learn here? What is it that I'm supposed to have done or didn't do? When you really take a look at the scenario, something's going to show up that you're going to have a realization, and it's for you. You don't have to share it with anybody. Just be honest with yourself, though, okay? Because that's key, too. If you're living blindly and not truly opening up to yourself of what's true and what's not true, when you could learn that whatever is going on within you doesn't really matter, because you are the best person that you could possibly be right now in this moment, regardless of your past or what you've done or haven't done, doesn't matter. You're still an amazing human being today, right now, where you are, and you let go of what other people are going to think. Then you take ownership and say, okay, so what am I going to do differently now? How is my life going to be differently? How's my life going to be different if I can take ownership for what just happened? And how am I going to make it different? So this is all under the umbrella of commitment, because you have to commit to not being a victim. You have to commit to keeping your word to yourself. You have to commit to whatever declarations that you make. So that's the next thing I want to talk about with under commitment is declaration versus affirmation. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to make a declaration for 2019, not an affirmation. So an affirmation is a positive statement. They're good and they do help the subconscious mind, but a declaration is you declaring something is going to be different. And you're going to do it in present tense as if it's already done, because that's where the subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's coming and what's already done. And that's the difference, in my opinion, between an affirmation and declaration. A declaration is, it's already done. So if you keep declaring something, your subconscious mind is just going to already believe that it's done. So that's a huge difference. I hope you guys understand that, get that. Okay, so I think I put this in the email, and then today on the radio, they said some other statistics about goal setting and things like that. But so 20% of New Year's resolutions fail by the second week of February. And then out of all the people that actually do set goals, only 9% of them achieve whatever goal that they set, as long as it's a written goal. So I think it was I don't know if it's Business Insiders or something, but some magazine had posted an article in regards to goals, wishes, if you will, just throwing something down or saying a goal without writing it down, that there's 41% of people who actually write down their goals are more likely to achieve them. But then there's the 20%, and there's 9%. But either way, people do New Year's resolutions. They live kind of by default instead of intentionally. So when life starts happening and they don't have emotional connection to their goal, they just let it go. The other thing, well, I'll get to that in a second. So that's the whole commitment. Okay, so now the second thing for a powerful 2019 is accountability. Okay, and accountability is, it should be like number one, but I put them in order because there's a reason for this order of commitment, accountability, and then the third one is action. But anyway, so when you are held accountable, you show up differently, okay? When you tell somebody that you're going to do something, you're most likely going to do it because they're going to be looking for it, or they're going to be depending on you, or something like that. Or at work, if you're in an office or in your business, when you tell people around you that you're going to do something, you're more likely to do it than not to do it. If you make goals in the beginning of the year and nobody knows what those goals are, it doesn't matter if you achieve them or not because nobody knows them. So when you're setting out to have a powerful 2019, you need to let people know what your vision is, what your goals are. What are you going to be doing? You need to make sure that somebody knows that in your family. Put them up on your refrigerator. Make sure somebody knows what you're doing because they're going to keep you accountable, and ask them to keep you accountable. Say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Will you check in with me? Will you make sure that I'm doing what I said I was going to do? Because if you don't, you're going to hide. Okay. It's very easy to hide. So there is, right now in the corporate world, almost all top executives have a mentor or a business coach or somebody that they're held accountable to outside of their boss and review time or something like that. They have somebody who they say, okay, this is my vision. This is what I want. You hold me accountable. And it's the same thing with Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers is so super successful because you are held accountable. You have to show up weekly. You have to do your daily tracking, things like that. And even like The Biggest Loser, all those things are super successful because you're held accountable. When you know somebody's going to be looking, or you know somebody's expecting something from you, you're going to do it more often than not. Okay, that's just how it is. And that's why accountability is so important for you to have a super powerful 2019, is you have to be held accountable. Okay, so all right, so most of those people who focus on exercise, eating healthy, and reducing stress in their resolutions achieve those goals if they have an accountability partner. So if you truly want to achieve your goals, you need to be held accountable. Yeah, that's that. Okay, so the third thing that I feel like I'm forgetting something, but okay, so the third key for you to have a powerful 2019 is action. Yes, action, action, action. So I was talking yesterday about law of attraction. You know, I've been certified in coaching the law of attraction, also with John Maxwell and things like that. But The Secret was so big when it first came out, and it talked about how if you were in alignment with, you know, the energies and things like that. But one of the things that was missing from The Secret, which I find funny because a lot of gurus now talk about the secret missing the secret, is action. So if you don't take any inspired action on anything that you do, nothing's going to change for you. So you can set these goals, you can, you know, you can look at your core values, you can do all these things, but if you don't actually take an action step towards something, nothing's going to change. Okay. So, and that when it comes to action too, so taking action in determining what your limiting beliefs are, taking action in thinking about what you're thinking about. I know that's a tough one, but that's truly how you're going to change your mindset, because everything that you want and all the power is within you. Everything starts from within. That's why my coaching business is called Everything Starts From Within, because that's the truth. Everything that you want, every desire that you have is reachable if you can go within yourself and learn how to manage your mind and take action. Be held accountable and take action every day. Commitment, accountability, and then action. So I'm just going to read to you a couple of things in regards to the importance of action. Okay, it's important to understand that change and success is an ongoing process. You can't just take one action, one attempt, one call, one thing, just one day, and expect things to change. You literally have to continue a daily action. That's where daily routines come in. And if you guys are with me, you came to me through the online series called the Fearless Woman series, or maybe my first series, which was the Unlimited Success series, which is the same mindset of I've been interviewing successful women so that you can see that you're not alone when it comes to limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, and that we're all the same. It's just, what are you doing? What choices are you making? How committed are you to yourself to take action to make your life different? And so when I was interviewing these people and I shared it with you guys, having a daily routine, a morning routine ritual, something that you're doing consistently is another way that you're actually going to have a fulfilling life. You're actually going to have things change for you if you start doing action on a daily basis. So the other thing that I was like to share with you guys is that everybody talks about motivation and, well, you know, I need to be motivated. You know, I need something to motivate me. The trick with motivation, the key to motivation is motivation comes after action. Okay. So this is how it works. You set yourself a goal, you put it into play, you come up with a strategy, you start taking baby steps, you start taking actions, then you start seeing results. When you see a result, then you get motivated, then you keep going. The motivation comes after action. So don't wait around to be motivated, because it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. You have to be in action. You have to be doing something. So, you know, when you're in action, you're going to be less in a victim mode. You're going to be less complaining. You're going to be out of fear. So I'm just reading off my notes. So when you're taking action, you can overcome fears, because fear is just a false experiences appearing real. That's what fear is. So when you're in action, fear dissipates because you're walking through whatever that fear is that you have. Okay. So you can do it. When you're in action, it improves your confidence because you're going to have a result that's going to give you motivation. So now you're confident, you're going to keep going. So everything is in the action step. I hope that makes sense for you guys. So you have commitment, accountability, then you have action. So Action is also a way for you to have action is to be grateful. So part of a daily routine is gratitude. I touched on it earlier, and I did say I was going to circle back to it. So that's what I'm talking about right now is gratitude. So when you are grateful for where you are right now in this moment, you can find something. I guarantee you can find something to be grateful for. Even if you're totally down and out, in, despair, if you will, there's something you could be grateful for. You could look in the mirror and think of something, whether it's, if you're a parent, if you're a sibling, if you're a daughter, there's somewhere, somehow, or, that you have a roof over your head, that you have food to eat, that you have a car to drive, that you have hair, I don't know, anything, you know what I mean? There is always something to be grateful for, that you woke up today, that the sun is rising, that you caught the green lights, that you got in the right line at the grocery store, instead of getting in the wrong line and always being Debbie Downer. Because like I said, if you're in a victim mentality, if you are in a complaining mentality, you're not going to get where you want to go. You've got to get out of that. It's not serving you. It doesn't serve anybody. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention to how you're showing up. Because if you're showing up with woe is me, you're not going to have the balanced and successful 2019 that you're looking for. You're not going to be in a powerful state of mind where you could actually start living the life that you truly want to live. So you have to pay attention to what you're thinking, and how you're reacting, or how you are choosing to react, because everything's a choice. You have the choice to go this way or that way. And the other thing is that when you open yourself up to gratitude, when you become grateful for everything that you have, you're open. The floodgates will come to you. Everything that you're looking for is going to come to you. But when you're like negative, feel sorry for me, or why is everything always happening to me, you are closed off and nothing can come to you. If you truly want to have a powerful 2019, you have to learn that everything that you're looking for comes from within you. And you have the power within you to actually achieve whatever it is that you're looking for. But it does take work. It's going to take practice. And you're going to need accountability. You need to make that commitment to yourself. Then you need to take action. So I hope this was super helpful for everybody. I am offering an invitation to book a call with me. You guys should get the email if not already before when this masterclass ends. I would really love your feedback. Tell me what you think of this class, the material. Am I giving you what you need? Are you able to realize that everything you need is within you? I'm here to support you. I do have a 6-month group coaching program that's starting the 3rd week in January. And I think, let me look and see. Right now, I think there's 5 spots left. But also too, before I forget, because I did say this last night, so I'm going to give it today. So you guys will get the link to book a call with me. There's no obligation. It's just to see if you're a good fit for the program, because it's not for everybody. So the first 3 people, 1 girl already booked it, so we have 2 more that book the call with me, get a free planner for 2019. So this planner is pretty awesome. It's got the month, and then it has the pay each day like that. You can put your goals in here. It's going to keep you on track. So 1 of these are gone already. There's 2 more. So book a call, see if you're a good fit. Then the first 5 people that actually sign up, because I had 8. Now I have 5 slots left. So the first 5 of you that sign up for the 6-month coaching program are going to get a special gift from me. It's a discount on the program that you'll find out once we actually get on the call and we see if you're a good fit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm super excited for 2019. I'm here for you, whether you join the program or not. Go out on the Facebook group. I'm starting my Monday motivations. That's right. So I'm going to be back January 7th, Monday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, with like a 20-30 minute Monday motivation. Every Monday, each month it's going to be a different topic. I'm just going to be out there talking to you guys, kind of like I'm doing now, giving you tips and things that you can do each week to live the best possible version of yourself. Okay, so happy New Year, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm so glad that I remembered to record it. Anyway, have a good night, and hopefully you guys will book a call, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. Anybody have any questions before I jump off? Okay, well, thank you guys.